I'm 98 years old. I've got every tooth God gave me. I read my Bible every morning. Same small print, no glasses. My dentist looks in my mouth and shakes his head. Says he can't explain it. But here's what keeps me up at night. My husband Samuel lived in the same house, drank the same water, saw the same doctor. He lost every tooth by 70. By 76 he was gone. Same house, same life, different ending. And the only difference between us? 3 foods he refused to eat. My name is Odessa Mae Williams. I'm 98 years old. I've got every tooth God gave me, and I can still read my Bible without glasses. Now I know what you're thinking. Good genes. Lucky. Maybe she's exaggerating. But I'm not here to lie to you. I'm here because I watch people I love lose things they didn't have to lose. Teeth, their sharpness, their independence. And I kept asking myself, what did I do different? I was born in Charleston, South Carolina, 1928. Moved to Baltimore in 1952 when I married my Samuel. Spent 34 years managing the cafeteria at Frederick Douglass High School. Fed hundreds of children every day. But the food that mattered most? That came from my grandmother's kitchen, Big Mama Pearline. She lived to 101, died in her sleep with every tooth still in her mouth, never had heart trouble. The doctors couldn't explain it. She could. I watched my friends get dentures in their 60s. Watched my own husband lose his teeth by 70. Watched people fall apart in ways I somehow didn't. And every time I traced it back, the answer was the same. Big Mama's kitchen. What she taught me. What she put on my plate before I was old enough to understand why. There are 3 foods I've eaten almost every day of my life. My grandmother gave them to me, and now I'm giving them to you. 1934. I was 6 years old, standing in Big Mama's kitchen in Charleston. Hot as blazes outside, but she had all the windows open, and the smell of cabbage filled the whole house. She was packing it into these big ceramic crocks, shredding the cabbage with her hands, layering it with salt, pressing it down until the juice started coming up. Then she'd put these heavy stones on top and cover the whole thing with cloth. I asked her, "Big Mama, why does it have to sit there so long?" She didn't even look up, just kept pressing that cabbage down and said, "Baby, the good things take time. You rushing it means you ruining it." I didn't understand then. I just knew that weeks later, she'd pull that cabbage out and it would be sour and crunchy, and she'd put it on everything. Pork chops, rice, didn't matter. That sauerkraut was on the plate. But here's what she told me that I never forgot. She stopped what she was doing, looked me right in the eyes and said, "Baby, your mouth is the front door to your whole body. You let the wrong things in, they don't stay in your mouth. They go everywhere." I was 6. I didn't know what that meant. I'm 98 now. I know exactly what it means. My daughter Charlene, she's 67, retired nurse. She told me they teach this in nursing school now, that the bacteria in your mouth can get into your bloodstream. That gum disease isn't just about losing teeth. It's connected to your heart, your whole system. Big Mama knew that in 1934. Without a degree, without a textbook. She knew the good bacteria in that sour cabbage would fight off the bad bacteria trying to set up shop in your mouth. She knew that keeping your mouth clean meant keeping your whole body clean. That sour cabbage wasn't a side dish. It was medicine. I just didn't know it yet. But sauerkraut wasn't the only thing in Big Mama's kitchen that I didn't understand until I was old enough to need it. She made kefir, too, this thick, sour milk drink. I hated it as a child. Thought it tasted like someone had left the milk out too long. But she made me drink it anyway, said it would keep my bones strong. Now, my husband Samuel, Lord rest his soul, he didn't grow up with Big Mama. He grew up with normal food, regular food. And when we got married, he looked at my kefir and my sauerkraut and he said, "Dessa, I'm not eating that sour mess." I tried for years, decades. He wouldn't budge. By the time Samuel was 68, he was sitting in his recliner every evening, rubbing his back, complaining about pain. His teeth were getting loose. Doctor told him to take calcium supplements. So he did. Took them every day like clockwork. Thought he was doing everything right. But here's what nobody told him. Here's what I didn't have the words to explain back then. Calcium doesn't know where to go on its own. You can swallow all the calcium pills in the world, but if your body doesn't have the right instructions, that calcium ends up in the wrong places. Not your bones, your arteries, your joints, places it was never meant to be. Samuel had his teeth pulled at 70, all of them, gone. By 74, he needed heart surgery. The doctors said his arteries were calcified, hard like stone. The same calcium he'd been taking to save his bones had been building up in his blood vessels for years. He passed at 76, 22 years ago now. And me, same house, same water, same doctor. I still have every tooth. My bones are strong enough that I still tend my garden plot at the community center. Same age Samuel was when his teeth started falling out. I was fine. I'm still fine. The difference was the kefir. There's a vitamin in fermented foods. They call it K2. My daughter Charlene explained it to me after she learned about it in some continuing education class. K2 is like an usher at a wedding. It tells the calcium where to sit. Without K2, calcium is a guest who doesn't know which room is theirs. They end up in the wrong place. K2 points them to the bones, to the teeth, away from the arteries. Samuel used to say, "Dessa, I'm not eating that sour mess." Now he's been gone 22 years and I'm still here making it. I don't say that to be cruel. I love that man. I wish every day he'd listened, but I can't change the past. I can only tell you what I saw. Now, sauerkraut and kefir I learned from Big Mama, but the third food I had to find on my own, 2019. I'm sitting in Dr. Patterson's office. He's been my dentist for 40 years, and he's looking in my mouth, shaking his head, moving his little mirror around, checking every tooth. Finally, he leans back and says, "Mrs. Williams, I don't understand it. I've been a dentist for 40 years. I've never seen teeth like this in someone your age." I just smiled at him. He said, "What's your secret?" I said, "Doctor, I don't have a secret. I have a grandmother." But here's the thing. By then, I'd added something Big Mama never taught me, something my grandson Marcus brought me about 10 years back. Marcus is 42 now. Works in the city. He likes trying new things. One Sunday he shows up at my house with this little styrofoam container from an Asian grocery store. Opens it up and inside is the stickiest, strangest looking beans I've ever seen. Strings of slime connecting them like spiderwebs. He's laughing. He says, "Grandma, this is called natto. It's Japanese. It's the stickiest, strangest thing I've ever seen. I knew you'd probably love it." Now, most people take one look at natto and walk away. I understand. It's not pretty. But I'd spent my whole life eating things other people thought were strange. Sour cabbage, fermented milk. What was one more? I tried it, and I liked it. Come to find out, natto has more of that K2 vitamin than almost anything else you can eat. The same thing that's in sauerkraut and kefir, but concentrated. Powerful. And here's what I've noticed. I'm 98 years old. I read my Bible every morning. Same Bible, same small print, for 40 years. My eye doctor can't explain why my vision is still so sharp. I don't need him to explain it. I can see my Bible. That's all the proof I need. They say K2 helps with more than bones, helps with the soft tissues, the eyes, the skin. I'm not a scientist. I managed a school cafeteria, but I've lived 98 years in this body, and I know what kept it running. Big Mama gave me sauerkraut and kefir. A Japanese grandmother I never met gave me natto. Wisdom doesn't care where it comes from. The doctor looked in my mouth last month and said, "Mrs. Williams, I don't understand it." I said, "Doctor, I do." It's October, as I'm telling you this. I'm in my kitchen. The crocks are out. The cabbage is ready. My daughter Charlene is here, helping me pack the sauerkraut the way Big Mama taught me. That's 71 years I've been doing this now, 71 Octobers. Charlene was quiet for a while, pressing the cabbage down, and then she looked at me and said something I'll never forget. She said, "Mama, I spent 30 years as a nurse thinking you were just being old-fashioned. Turns out you were 30 years ahead. That meant more to me than any doctor's compliment. And now I'm looking at you. Maybe you're watching this and you've never heard of K2. Maybe nobody ever told you that your mouth and your heart are connected. Maybe you're taking calcium pills every day and wondering why your back still hurts. Maybe you've already lost some teeth and you think it's too late. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you what Big Mama told me. You don't need to wait until you're 98 to start. You don't need to lose your teeth to understand. You don't need a degree or a doctor's permission. You just need a jar of sauerkraut and the patience to let it sour. The good stuff takes time. That's true in food. That's true in life. If this made sense to you, send it to somebody who needs it. Somebody whose mouth might be trying to tell them something.